welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name is Anika Kialani. So today's video is going to be something really exciting. If you looked at the title, you obviously already know, but I'm going to be doing a little review slash tutorial on the new Morphe X James Charles palette. This palette is beautiful. It's so exciting. A little background story on this is I do work for Morphe, so a few weeks ago I had the opportunity to go play with a palette, like a new palette that was coming out. I went to the Morphe corporate office and I just got to play around with it, got to give my feedback, but at the time they didn't tell us that it was James Charles palette. They just told us it was like a new palette coming out. So at the time I already loved it, but now that I have it in my hands I am like even more excited. So yeah, this is it right here. And then this is, of course, a little paper with all the shade names, which the shade names are super cute, by the way. And yeah, this is the palette. Look how beautiful. This palette has everything in it. You have your neutrals, you have color. It just has everything in one. Like, what else could you ever want in life, you know? Has everything. I feel like when I travel now, I'm just gonna take this one palette with me since it has everything. But yeah, if you guys want to know how I created this look, I mean, I know it looks a little bit crazy, like obviously I'm not going to wear this out, but if you want to know how I created this look, then keep on watching. So I zoomed you guys in just a bit so you can see a little bit closer up. To get started, I'm going to prime my eyelids, and usually I use concealer, just like my Tarte Shape Tape, which works perfectly fine, but James actually suggested using a eyeshadow primer, like an actual eyeshadow primer. So for today's look, I'm going to be using my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. This is actually one of my favorite primers anyway, so I'm sure it's going to work great with it. So I'm just going to use a flat concealer brush. This is a Morphe M224, and I'm just going to pack on the primer. And also I just decided to do like my face makeup and everything else just because I kind of want this video just to focus on the eyes and the palette. Also, before I get really into this, I'm just going to apply some translucent powder under my eyes just in case I have any fallout. Okay, I probably look really crazy right now, but I'm gonna wipe it off later. But just in case you didn't know, translucent powder is just a really good way to help with any fallout. It just really helps, like especially if you do your face first. So yeah, don't mind my craziness at the moment. Okay, so I'm kind of just going with the flow right now. Like I don't really have a look in mind. All I know is I want to do something using like all of the colors of the rainbow just so I can kind of like try out all of the shades. To start, I'm gonna use the shade called B, which is literally just a true yellow. It's so, so pretty, but I'm gonna start by applying that in the inner corner right up in here. And look how pigmented it is, guys. It's so pigmented. Like you barely have to dip your brush and it's extremely pigmented. It's so beautiful. It feels super weird working from the inner corner to my out because usually I do like opposite, but I think just for the sake of this video, I kind of want to keep all of the lighter shades like towards the inner corner just so it doesn't close out my eyes. The next shade I'm going to be using is called 518, and that's just a true orange. So I'm going to pack this on right next to the yellow shade. Now I'm going to be using the shade called You're Kidding, and it is literally a true red. Like I have tons of palettes and none of my palettes have like a matte red like that. It's super pigmented. Usually a lot of like the palettes that do have red, it's more like pinkish undertone. Like it's not super like vibrant. So this one is just amazing. I am obsessed with it. I'm really happy that he decided to include like a matte red. I'm kind of packing it on first, like patting it, and then after I get like to the, what is the word, to the opacity that I want, I kind of start blending it out. And also blending it into the other shades. Oh my gosh, I look crazy. Look at this. I feel like a butterfly. And just to make sure I don't lose the other shades, I'm gonna go back in with them just to make sure you can still see them. I think the next shade that I want to use is a blue, just because once it mixes with the red right here, it's going to create a purple, and then I can kind of incorporate the purple after that. So I'm trying to debate what blue I want to use. I'm looking at these two right here. This one's called Playground and this one's called Brother. Like maybe I'll just mix a little bit of both. I don't know. I'm kind of just going to go with the flow and see what happens. I'm going to start first with the shade called Playground, which is like the lighter turquoise kind of blue. And I'm just going to pack that on right next to the purple. This is extremely pigmented. Do you see that? I barely dipped it and that's what happened. Okay, I think I'm gonna dip a little bit of the shade called Brother with it, just so it's more of like a true blue instead of a turquoise. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Okay, so right here in between the red and blue, I wanna add purple, and I'm gonna use a shade called Escape, which is just a true purple. And I just wanna use that right there to kind of tie those shades together. Yeah, see, that looks a lot better. I'm just literally like wiggling my brush right in between them to blend them. And I'm going in with very small amounts at a time just because it's super, super pigmented. And then so I don't lose the shades next to it, I'm gonna go back in with the red and just pack that on. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this. And then back in with the orange again, just so I don't lose any of the colors. Okay, so right on the end, I'm gonna use a green, and I think I'm gonna use the shade called Social Blade, which is more of like a lime green. I think I'm gonna do that just because it's already super dark on this corner. I mean, if I want, I can always add a darker green in, but I think I wanna start with this one just to blend right on the outer corner of it. I just noticed I stopped applying shades to this eye, so I think I'm just gonna finish this eye and then I'll go back to that one after. I just got super into it. Okay, so I somewhat have the eyeshadow kind of how I want it. I just want to fix like this whole edge over here just because it looks a little bit too harsh for me and it's bothering me. I'm going to use the Morphe M505, and it's just a small fluffy brush. Like there's nothing on it. I'm just going to use it to literally simply blend it out. I just want to diffuse all of the edges so it doesn't look super, super harsh. Okay, so I'm not 100% satisfied just yet, but I do want to add a little bit more something. I'm going to add a wing liner, but using like the same shadows, just opposite, if that makes sense. I'll kind of show you guys how I do it, but I'm just going to start off using some concealer and just a small angled brush, and I'm going to create a wing like that. Okay, so I made the wing pretty thick just because I want to make sure you can see all of the color on the wing. As I was saying, I want to do like the same order of the shadows just backwards. So I'm gonna start by applying yellow on the outer part of the wing since I have yellow shadow on the inner part of the eye, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm not making any sense, but because that's on the inner part over here, I want to add it to the outer part over here. So I'm just using a small brush and I'm just tapping it on top of the concealer just so it'll stick. Now that I have the yellow on, I'm going to use the orange right next to it. And also just keeping in mind that I'm only applying this to where the concealer is. Just like that, and then I'm gonna go back with the yellow just to make sure it's nice and blended together. Look how pigmented that orange is. It's so pigmented. Looks so pretty. Okay, now I'm gonna use red right next to it I feel like I'm having the hardest time finding brushes. I'm just like digging around and using any brush I can find. And then going back in with the orange. I just keep doing this just so I can make sure that all the shades are showing up. My gosh, this looks like a circus on my eye. Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna add purple. And I'm going back into that red just to make sure it doesn't get lost. There we go. I'm seriously running out of brushes over here. I'm trying to use like whatever I can find at the moment. Okay, now I'm gonna apply blue. And last but not least, I'm gonna use the green in the very inner part of the eye. It looks kind of messy right now, so I'm just gonna go back and make sure that everything's blended, and then that you can also see all of the shades. Okay, I'm really loving the way that this came out. Like, it just looks super colorful, super fun. Just one of those like unleash your artistry moments, you know? As Sister James said. I'm gonna finish the other eye off of camera, and then I'll be right back to finish the rest. Okay, so I finished that other eye off of camera, and I feel like I look crazy. I'm gonna dust off this whole bakage situation going on, and then I'm gonna finish the lower lash line just so I can actually like look at myself in the mirror. Okay, and I actually, like, surprisingly, I didn't have that much fallout, like, which is really nice, just because I mean, I rarely do my face first. I usually do my eyes first, just, I don't know, just cause I feel like it's a lot cleaner. But yeah, there wasn't that much fallout, which I really like, especially using these super pigmented and bright shadows. Okay, so what I want to do really quick is just clean up the edge right here, just so it can be like super sharp and super defined. Like, this one just looks super messy, and I'm not about it. I am just gonna use some concealer and a flat brush just to clean it up. Okay, and as you can see, it just looks a lot better already compared to this side. Okay, I really don't know what to do with the lower lash line. At first I wanted to like smoke out black liner, but now I feel like it'll be too much. Like, it'll really close my eyes out. I don't know, I don't know what to do. I think I'm just gonna start by blending some of the shades on my lower lash line, and then I'll kind of figure it out from there. Okay, I think I'm gonna apply some of the purple on the outer part of the lower lash line to start off with. And then a little bit of blue right next to it. And then some of the green. And to tie everything together just a little bit, I'm gonna use some pink. This is the shade called Skip. I just use a teeny tiny bit just to kind of blend under the lower lash line. Okay, I was thinking of putting yellow in the waterline, but honestly, I think I'm gonna use black and just smoke it out. I feel like it'll really tie everything together, just cause this, I don't know, this is just not giving it to me. Okay, so I'm taking a black pencil, and I'm just gonna start by putting it in my waterline, and then I'm gonna start smudging it down on my lower lash line. And now I'm gonna start by smudging it out. Okay, I actually really like the way that this came out so far. I feel like once I have lashes on, it'll like all complement each other. I feel like I look crazy, but it is what it is. I'm applying lashes right now. Hopefully lashes save the day. Lashes are on and I'm applying mascara now. Okay, I look like a drag clown, if that's even a thing. I mean, it is now. But I'm gonna apply the shade called Ring Light into the inner corners just for a little pop. Yes, I love inner corner highlights. They really tie everything in together. Oh my gosh, that shade is so pretty. Oh, wow. Okay, so my eyes are pretty much done. I'm just gonna touch up my face makeup and then apply some kind of lip, and then I will be right back. Okay, you guys, this is the completed look, and I feel a little bit crazy. Like, obviously I'm not gonna wear this out anywhere, but I do love the way that it came out. I just wanted to use as many shades as I could to show you guys how it works, how it blends, how pigmented it is, and all of that. I definitely will say that this palette is worth it. You get everything in one, basically. Like, you have your neutrals, you have color, you have just all of that. It's such a good palette. I feel like when I travel now, I'm just gonna take this one palette because it has everything in it. It comes out on November 13th, which is Tuesday of next week. It is $39, so I don't know. I believe it's totally worth it. Let me know if you guys are gonna pick it up. Before you guys leave, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also follow me on Instagram at Anika Kialani with an _. Please be sure to tag James in any of my posts just because I really want him to see it, see the looks that I'm creating using his palette. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.